Speaker, thank you. Madam Chair, thank you for your leadership and your support. I rise today in strong support of my legislation, the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act, which supports students and dairy farmers across America. Milk is an essential building block for a well-rounded and balanced diet, offering 13 essential nutrients and numerous health benefits. However, out-of-touch federal regulations have imposed dietary restrictions on the types of milk students have access to in school meals. Our ranking member is a dear friend of mine. We've worked together for I've been here 15 years, a little longer, but we've got a great relationship. We do a lot of bipartisan bills together, like we marked up yesterday. But I have to say, the only special interest here is our kids, and it's our kids that have been cheated out of the nutrition that they need. It's our kids who have case studies have shown that the rate of obesity and being overweight increased dramatically after access to whole milk and flavor was taken out of the schools. 2007, 2008 was a baseline. 2010, Democrat-led initiative demonized milk fat. In 2020, 2021, there was a study of that same cohort, and obesity has gone up. Whenever this beverage. My good friend Louisiana, who was just here, spoke before. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own facts, their own opinion, but not their own facts. And the facts are that it's the underlying law that was passed back in 2010 by a Democratic House and signed by a Democratic president that quite frankly, required a physician prescription in order for health reasons. Now, that is a good part of the law. We didn't touch that. We didn't address that in this bill, so I'm not sure why he's talking about it. It's not germane to the topic that we're talking about today. That actually is the underlying law. The bottom line is that students and parents do have choice, and there's a mechanism to honor that. The only choice they don't have, though, is access to the most nutritious beverage, which is whole milk, and specifically whole milk and flavor. The waste that was noted, I appreciate the gentleman from Louisiana sharing how much waste there was, what that amounts to in cartons, half pints, what it amounts to in dollars, but that's because of the taste experience. It's not that these kids are throwing the milk away because it's unhealthy for them. It's just a terrible taste experience when you're drinking non-fat, low-fat, or non-fat milk. The students have been limited to fat-free or reduced fat milk since the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act was enacted in 2010. While some of my friends on the other side of the aisle have argued that we should not reform individual aspects of the child nutrition, it was that legislation more than a decade ago that singled out milk for regulation, which is why we're here today. There are several reasons why these top-down regulations are harmful to students and school districts that are forced to comply with them. First, we have seen students opt out of consuming milk altogether if they don't have access to a variety that they enjoy. According to the 2020 Dietary Guideline Advisory Committee report, more than 2/3 of school-aged children fail to meet the recommended levels of dairy. Well, no kidding. We took out the most nutrition, the most tasty, and made it inaccessible to them. Let's face it, the only way to benefit from milk's essential nutrients is to consume it. Now, we're not force-feeding anybody anything. This is about choice. And when students turn away from milk, they often opt for far less healthy alternatives that are highly caffeinated, sugar-sweetened, or lack key nutrients. Now, these regulations also perpetuate baseless claims that milk is bad for our kids. Research has shown time and time again that whole and 2% milk are not responsible for childhood obesity and other health concerns. In fact, these beverages are so nutritious that research shows positive health outcomes for kids who consume whole milk. Mr. Speaker, I ask for unanimous consent to insert into the record 15 academic studies from researchers around the world, including from top institutions such as Boston University and Tufts, who have studied the health effects of full-fat dairy.
Gentleman's request is covered by general leave.
Thank you. These studies show, among other things, that full-fat dairy foods have little to no association with high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, blood pressure, or cholesterol. And in fact, several of these studies show full-fat foods help improve or lower negative health outcomes for children who drank more full-fat dairy beverages.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Give me 2 minutes. I'll use less. A minute.
I yield the gentleman an additional 2 minutes.
Gentleman's recognized.
Whole milk, and additionally, since whole milk was removed from the school lunchrooms, the childhood obesity rate has increased according to the CDC and several case studies. Whole milk is not the problem. For our children to excel in the classroom and beyond, they must have access to more nutritious options, not fewer. Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act will allow schools participating in the National School Lunch Program to serve all varieties of flavored and unflavored milk, including whole milk. And it's important to remember that this legislation does not require any student to drink or any other school to serve whole milk. Rather, this legislation simply gives schools the flexibility to serve a broader variety of milk in the school lunchroom. And additionally, if students have a documented medical condition or disability that prohibits them from safely or comfortably consuming milk, schools are required to offer them an alternative beverage. This legislation will not change that standard. Proud to have 134 bipartisan co-sponsors from 44 states. And the bottom line is Whole Milk for Healthy Kids is all about ensuring students have the necessary nutrients to learn and to grow. And with that, I yield back.